How many discounts does USAA Auto Insurance offer? Too many to say here. Multi-vehicle discount, safe driver discount, new vehicle discount, storage discount, legacy.
How many discounts will you stack up? Visit USAA.com/auto discounts. Restrictions apply.
Don't go anywhere. We're going to have a quick word from one of our sponsors, Apex Lab. Elevate your coffee experience with Apex Lab mineral concentrates. Apex Lab's precision-engineered formulas, including tonic, jam, and lilac, are designed to enhance the coffee's natural flavors. Not going to change it, it's just going to enhance it. It's going to bring out the vibrant acidity, the rich sweetness, or if you use lilac, it might bring out those delicate floral notes that you've been looking for. Trusted by world-class cafes and even barista champions, Apex Lab helps you unlock your coffee's full potential. Discover more at apexlab.com. Wait, where was that again, Sonam?
The internet.
Oh, okay. Thought he was going to say the website. Thanks.
Today's episode is brought to you by our amazing sponsors at Eco Barista. The reason I sound like this is because they got massages at our stand at Mice, and so I'm getting a massage while recording this message for you. They're the best sponsor of the pod that we could have had. They have the best eco products. This probably sounds really pornographic, but it's not. I'm just getting a massage. They have the best eco-friendly coffee products. They got coffee bags that you can design yourself. They got cups. They got iced coffee cups. They got everything you need. So make sure to support them because they support us. Head to ecobarista.com.au and get 15% off your first purchase when you sign up. Oh, mama, that's good.
Does everyone know this song?
What if I sing you a song and let me know if you know it? Because this morning I was singing it and no one knew it. Ready? Who do you think you are? Running round leaving scars. Collecting your jar of hearts.
Jar of farts.
How does no one in Australia know this song?
What is it?
Jar of Hearts by Christina Perri. Australians don't know that song.
No idea. Katy Perry?
No, Christina Perri. You
Do
would know.
you ever feel?
No, Christina Perri also
banger.
sang The Twilight 1,000 Years. I have died every day waiting for you.
I have died every day waiting for you.
She also sang Jar of Hearts. So
All right, so
sorry about all that.
welcome back to Coffee Break. I just stole Liam's role, but I got so excited because I've connected my phone to our podcasting board and I can now make phone calls from it.
Bring.
Now, in the last episode, we were talking about coffee tools. We were talking about all the new ones of 2025. Great review. Had fun. But then Liam had the question about we bloom our pour-overs and that kind of thing.
And agitate.
Yep. But sometimes, different orders, not always agitating. There's different methodologies that are placed in there. As Liam tries to become a World AeroPress champion, he's learning all these different things. He's learning about bypass water, about his agitation, about his ratios, grind size, all these things. But yeah, the question is, can you bloom and do anything prior to putting it into a pressurized compartment in your espresso machine? So I'm going to try to live call Jamie Thompson, friend of the show, beloved friend, and see if he's going to pick up and answer this question that Liam's going to pose towards him. And then I think you should also we should chat him through the AeroPress thing, get some tips, get some ideas, and see what he thinks. Let's see if he's going to pick up. This is one guy that normally, I would say, picks up 90% of the time. So if he doesn't, it'll be...
The person you are calling is not available. Please leave a...
I'm going to message him right now. I'm just going to say, you dirty dog.
No, he'll call back in 3 seconds.
He'll just have something horrible's happened. He's like, sorry, I'm just at the hospital. I'm like, oh my God.
He just lost my foot.
All right. The other thing that I wanted to chat about is I was obviously away for a little bit and some things that have happened as we've got It's K-Pain on the show.
Oh.
Beloved partner of Producer Liam. I love Producer Liam as a little tag. I need to get a t-shirt that says Producer Liam.
Producer Liam.
So we all know K-Pain, TikTok famous. She's a D-bag influencer.
The D stands for dance.
Dance bag. She's got a whole bag of dance moves ready for you to go.
It's kind of real.
But you had another one of your, and once a month I'll get Katie has a little viral moment where something just blows up. Something happened and you have a pitch.
That was a bit of a flex, actually. You're like, once a month, Katie goes viral. I just only post once a month, and that happens to go viral.
Yeah.
She goes viral in her follicular phase.
Yeah. But apparently there's a business pitch. So can you run us through what went viral, what happened, and what you have a business pitch for Golden Brown?
Yes. So what had happened is there's been a little bit of a boom recently of the sober morning rave going around Melbourne and probably other parts of the world. And so I went to one, as one does. Except it wasn't really sober coded, but this is because it's at Revs. And if you know Melbourne Revs, you know Melbourne Revs. I don't need to say anything more.
For those international guests, Revs is like the dirtiest place that'll go all night. It's no one's leaving there till like 8 a.m. in the morning.
Like it doesn't close. Like you could camp out if you wanted to, probably.
I haven't been in forever. Do they still have that one room that has carpeted floors? I remember when I was in there.
Couches, and it's just filthy.
But the carpeted floors, like as you walk them, it's like...
Yeah.
I think it's wood now, actually.
Yeah, they may have removed it. That's why I'm asking. Like, I just remember walking through there and your feet were like stuck to the carpet. It was horrible.
Yeah.
It's the Berlin Institution of Melbourne.
Yeah.
It literally doesn't shut from Friday to Sunday.
So,
So
I go, there's a pop-up rave happening at 10 a.m. So I obviously wake up at 8:30 like a responsible adult, make my coffee. Then my friend says, I'm here. And I said, I can't leave you there alone. I'll go down. So I go to Revs. I head upstairs. And to my surprise and delight, no one there is sober. Most people look like zombies.
But have they already been there the whole night?
They've been there the whole night.
So they've set it up. There's a sober rave at 10 a.m., but all the other people have just continued on and have just kept going.
By the way, I just think 10 a.m. is insane. Like my cutoff is like 6 a.m. When the sun comes up, we go home. The fact that people are still... Anyway, I digress.
If you make it to the sun going up, it's
even that is
horrible,
like...
horrible.
So anyway, I get there and I'm like, I'm not drinking right now, but I'll have a coffee. And so I made a little video while I'm having a coffee at Revs. It kind of blew up. People were like, we love it. So I'm saying...
well, just for the listeners at home, this is the place where you'll hear the audio and for the visual, you'll be able to see it. So I'm on the roadcast, so hopefully it plays through.
Currently at Revs, it's 10:30 in the morning, and I reckon this is the best caramel iced latte I've ever had in Melbourne. This shit's like Dunkin' Donuts. Let's go. I'm currently at Revs.
My God. Okay.
It's 10:30 in the morning.
So she's lip syncing her own TikTok video. How many times have you watched it? The timing. Okay, we need to bring it up.
I will.
Okay, the editing, producer Liam, edit this of the video playing next to her lip syncing herself. Oh my God.
Whatever. We all watch our own videos. I got to be 200 of my own views. Are you commenting on it right now?
Sorry, Jamie. So I just messaged Jamie saying, you dirty dog. And he said, what did I do? Give me 5. I'll call you back.
Okay.
And I said, you didn't answer. That's all.
All to say, this has led me, as I'm at this rave, I text my bosses, Rowan
and
Sonam, you know him. And I said, we need to do a Golden Brown coffee pop-up rave. Because coffee...
A little late, but...
I love it. And so I've been sort of crafting a pitch to these guys. I don't think I have their approval. I don't think they're quite on board of this whole thing because I think they have this, old man mindset really of drinking coffee is like a soft, delicate practice, a ritual in the morning. I raise you, send it, drink, 2 to 6 coffees. It'll be a good time.
Can we do like some kind of poll or something where it's like
a stripper poll?
A stripper poll where we have a stripper pole dance off.
Yeah.
Or some kind of poll where people vote, different type of poll, whether they're interested in doing this. Because, it's just these things where there's like we've done a few events and there are a lot of effort to plan and to do. Were you planning on having it here at our office, or are you wanting to rent a space?
I think I can nudge Revs and say, I know a guy, I've DJ'd once. So if there's budget constraints, I'll go
DJ'd
first.
at our live event at La Mazzocco where we were raising funds for the homeless. Very different event. But, we could still raise funds for the homeless. Oh, is that my baby screaming out the front? I was just like, what is that noise? And I think it's my baby out the front of the office screaming.
You have a baby?
Yeah, I have a baby. Just so you know.
All to say, it's in the works. I think Golden Brown, made for the at-home coffee lover and the rave
Not
lover.
at home coffee lover, the out and about coffee lover.
Wait, set the scene though. So the collab is we're having a rave, we're having a party, and are we like dishing out like beautiful coffee? Are we like making coffees and like handing them out? Are we like,
what do you do at a rave? I feel like, do you need iced? Is it all iced coffees? Is that the vibe?
Like, do we need?
I feel like you want sugar and you want caffeine.
Yeah, my caramelized latte really hit the spot. Maybe you do shots of espresso in place of tequila shots.
Yeah.
Really.
Oh, you could do shakeratos, like the alcohol-free espresso martini.
I mean, or with. It doesn't have to be completely sober. Right?
I feel like you want to. I feel like you go into like that vibe. Like, I don't feel like we want to be like, let's get wasted.
No, it's a vibe. I reckon keep it sober, keep it cool, but also leaning into, like fun combos. We can make a set menu that's like awesome.
Yeah, I'm into it. No, I think it's a great thing. I think it's just like, let's poll the interest of like anyone that wants to come to a coffee rave hosted by Golden Brown Coffee, DJ'd by the one, It's K-Payne.
Yeah, I think we just need to keep workshopping it really, because I went to one that was on the beach and that was like a silent disco.
Oh, I saw that
and
with your headphones.
It was quite spiritual.
Oh, really?
There was a bit, I think I left joining a cult. Really.
Silent discos, man. Like I can't get around them. Like every time you're just like in there and like it's also just because like anyone watching it without the headphones on is just like, you look like an idiot.
Yeah, I don't care.
The second that you peek your headphones.
Clearly, by the way that you act and present yourself.
Okay.
The second you bring like the headphones off,
if you go like this.
If you pull this off, you're like,
it's like
you
going
hear
to the
people
bathroom
just
at the club,
grunting
you know?
and like, yeah.
So all to say, we'll workshop it. Maybe if it's not a pop-up rave, maybe it's at like at Movie World.
Yeah.
Golden Brown takes on Movie World. I don't know.
It's just coffee. Live pod from the rave at 10 a.m.
Yes,
That's
live
fun.
pod. And yes. Okay, that's good.
It'd be like a radio show where we like cut back with like a little bit of talk and then we're like, what do we got up next? And just throw on like a banger.
That actually be really fun. Like we've got the over the ears with the mouth and then we put like a 360 cam on each other and we're all linked in. That'd be fun.
We need like those, what's that guy that does like
the trains?
The trains
Yes.
and he has that camera that's looking down at his face. We need like those cameras.
That'd be sick.
Oh, what happened to that guy? He had such a moment. Now I haven't seen him in like...
He got a girlfriend.
Oh, see ya.
Nerd. Wait. Oh my gosh. I've got this whole thing now. I've got it. The energy from the floorboards bouncing, right? We harvest that energy and that's going to power a coffee machine and that's going to make coffees
Oh my God.
for people. It's sustainable.
They've actually done that. There was a music festival where it's like, and also this was an idea I pitched in uni back in 2009.
So it's your idea.
It was my idea. I came up with it. Is they put floors that from the vibrations of people dancing and that actually like generated power to like power
I
the
had this
stage and
idea when
stuff.
I was like 10 years old. I'm not kidding.
Well, that was probably when I was in uni and you stole it off me. So
maybe this.
I think they're starting to put them in the walkways in Tokyo.
Yeah, they have.
I literally had
on
this
like the
idea when I was 8
bridges
years
to
old.
train stations or whatever. Who knows how much power
I'm
is
glad
pulling
we're
in
all
there.
one human. We are the world.
Who did? So wait, going back to this video that you just masterfully lip synced. Who reposted it? Did we say that?
Oh, I forgot the account. It's something Straya.
Okay.
It's like an Australia aggregator account. Is what they call them.
Aggregator.
That's
aggregator.
Wait, what's the guy that? What's the guy that owns Instagram? Mosby.
Oh, the head of Instagram, yeah,
Mr. Mosby.
Yeah, not not Zuckerberg.
What's his name?
Masari.
I'm going to say Mr. Mosby for this show.
That's Mr. Mosby from.
He's the one that calls them
Mother.
aggregator accounts. Also, the way he says creator, crunchy.
Is it Masar?
There's Mark Zuckerberg is the owner of Instagram.
No, he's like the head of Instagram.
He's like the face of Instagram.
He once liked one of my videos. That's as much connection as I have to him.
We should chat to him.
Adam Mosseri, Mosseri, Mosseri.
Mosseri.
Yeah.
We want to let them in.
Yeah. I think if he's not going to cry, you can let him in. This is my... Live action in Baby In. But this isn't your... Did we talk about it last time we were on the pod, how you also went famous with Fred again?
Oh, you mean my favorite story to ever tell any? I don't know if we've ever talked about it, so apologies if you know this story. So this still goes back to the pitch because everyone's asking what DJs are going to be there. Obviously, I can start it off. Then we're going to get Fred again. That's like the next natural progression.
If Fred again is going to be there, I'll host the party.
Okay, perfect.
Done.
And I think we can get there because it was March 2024, and am I telling this full story?
Give us an abbreviated version. But the first thing is you couldn't get tickets to the show, so you went to a pop-up show, right?
We got tickets to the pop-up show by the grace of God. And then at the show, I'm dancing, we're dancing, our hearts, okay. We're dancing the night away. Social media team takes a video. And all to say, the next day after the rave, Fred again posts a story and said, who are these people?
You danced like a maniac while eating chicken wings at the back of the party. And then he sees the video, reposts it, and he's like, who are these people?
Yeah, you have tickets to tonight's show. Just need to know who you are. So I DM. I said,
No. He said, I need everyone's help to find these people. These guys have tickets for life.
No, that's not what happened.
Oh.
Yeah, you idiot.
He said,
swear I was there.
He said, you have tickets to this show or any show you want to come to. Just need to know your name. So then I DM him and I say, Fred, that's us. He goes, what's your name? What's your email? And what show do you want to go to? I said, Fred, every single one for the rest of your life.
So
he said, done.
At this point, your mum is in town visiting.
Oh, yeah. My mom's at the hospital at this point.
Because she's got like a leg thing from the flight or something going on.
Yeah.
You then proceed to go to every night show at Rod Laver Arena. Not only that, you become known as the Fred Again Girl. People are in the crowd filming you like the Fred Again Girls here from his stories.
Yeah.
Not only that, they get to, I don't know what song it was, but then, you know, when Fred again has his like blue faded, like people doing their FaceTime videos during his songs, the one, It's K-Pain, blasted up on the screen, dancing, everyone losing their mind.
Yeah. And then there's one of me and Liam in slow-mo, and it's to the song, We Lost Dancing.
Unbelievable. Life achievement.
When I die, that will be the image that plays in my head.
Yeah. I mean,
I will let you know that.
You are never going to top that. So that could happen at any moment.
If I think about it too much, I'll cry. If that never happens, I have to. Anyway, he just announced 3 new shows in Asia, Singapore, Thailand, and South Korea. I'm thinking about flying there. I haven't told you this yet.
Wait, what?
He's just announced 3 more shows. And part of me just wants to show up at the show to see what happens. It's kind of giving Psycho Ex-Girlfriend a little bit.
I mean, it is, but I tell you what, let's be fair. Like Fred again, amazing. Also, he's got an amazing social media team that are managing all that kind of stuff.
Jamie,
here you go.
Here we go.
Jamie is calling. Jamie, is that you?
Yes.
Oh, we have you live on the It's Just Coffee Break podcast. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. We just wanted to clear up a few little questions. Do you have a moment?
Yeah.
Okay, so first off, we'll get to it. Liam is on a journey to win the World AeroPress Championship. Problem is he sucks with coffee, so we'll get you to give him some tips about AeroPress in a second. But also, Liam brought up an interesting question that I wanted your thoughts on. Liam was talking about how we bloom, agitate coffee in that when we're making pour over. Why is there a way that we could do that with espresso?
Yeah, absolutely. You could do that with espresso. And there are espresso machines that are kind of doing that now, like the Decent, where like it will do the bloom and even like turn off for 30, 40 seconds. So it like by doing a bloom with espresso, you reduce channeling because obviously you're hitting with such high pressure that if there's any channels, it'll just water's lazy and wants the path of least resistance, so it'll just find the channels. But by fully saturating like the puck, then yeah, you can absolutely do a bloom. I guess that's where pre-infusion was sort of happening back in the day with some of the machines, but there's probably better ways to do it, like kind of an on-off and then back on again.
Yeah, and so the question was also like, does it need to be within that pressurized compartment of the espresso machine? Like if you were to bloom a espresso puck just with, let's say, a kettle with hot water before putting it in the espresso machine, would that work?
It would, but because you're using such a small amount of like total water, like I guess if you're measuring your output, you'd turn off at the right time. It's harder to be as accurate because you'd be pouring, where would you be pouring the water onto? How much would you be pouring onto?
Yeah, and like, is it going through one part of the bed more than another? And then the other part was, I guess you don't need to, but the idea of like agitation, it's like obviously that's going to mess up the puck. But is there any world of wetting the coffee grounds, agitating, and then what would you say then? Tamp again, Liam? Well, because you can't put it in if it's agitated and there's like channels everywhere. It needs to be a compact puck. That's the whole idea of puck prep.
Well, I guess like that's my whole thing. In my head, I'm like, okay, we have like a dry puck that is so sealed into the portafilter, or do we have like, we make this really consistent kind of coffee concrete that is like, the viscosity of it is really consistent the whole way through, but
it's not going to be unless you pressurize, tamp it down and
then mix that up. Yeah. Agitate it in there. I don't know if like you would need more space in it with more coffee so that there's still amount of time that goes through. I don't know. I was just kind of like, I love V60s because of these elements. And then I was like, it's a completely different thing. And so many people get it wrong doing puck prep. And like, why isn't it that way? You get so many flavors coming through it. So.
I mean, I was just interested to see if it was like something to test. I mean, the idea of like why you agitate when you're making a filter coffee versus espresso is going to be a different kind of output. You agitate to like wet all the grounds and to move everything around. Whereas like with a pressurized machine like espresso, it's going to push water through the entire bed.
Jamie, my question is, what method would you use if you were going to brew a lot of coffee for a pop-up rave?
Oh, there you go. Good send. So Jamie,
pop-up rave.
So Katie went viral for doing a morning rave at Revs, and now she wants to do a golden brown morning rave, and she wants to know what coffee to make.
I would, I'd just pre-batch it all. Like I would not be making to order. I'd pre-batch the whole thing.
Pre-batch, maybe pre-batch espresso and pre-batch like a filter brew.
Yeah.
Or cold brew.
Rev Strettos.
Yes.
Rev Strettos.
Oh, here you go. Katie, are you a cold brew girl because of the US?
Sort of. Yeah.
Jamie, feelings on cold brew?
Terrible. Now, brew hot, serve cold. That's delicious.
Wait, say again. Oh, we did a video on this. Can you? This is a great message for the people listening. What's your idea for making good cold brew?
Brew hot, serve cold.
Okay, so
no.
By that you mean we would take our ground coffee, fill it with like what temperature water? Like normal hot, like boiling, or?
Yeah, just below boiling, like in the 90s, and get it fully saturated. And if you do want more, like again, like chilled filter is pretty good, and even doing it like as an immersion brew because you get more out of it. But again, if you want to like just fill it up hot and then throw it into the fridge, you kind of almost get like different times at different temperatures. It's kind of a very similar, I guess, premise to like when you like slow braise meats, where you hit them with high heat to start the reaction, but then put them in a slow cook or a lower temperature. So you kind of hit the coffee with hot temperature and then throw that whole hot thing, well, let it cool for a little bit so it doesn't explode, but then throw that in the fridge. So then you kind of get like 4 or 5 minutes of hot brew and then like 10, 12 hours of like cold brewing. So you kind of get the best of both worlds.
Right. That's a really cool idea. So the best cold brew is going to be made with hot
golden
water.
Brown coffee.
With golden brown coffee.
Golden brown coffee.
And the final thing, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say for an event though, like if you wanted to serve milkies, like you just literally pre-batch make espressos, put them in like squeezy bottle, like even just like get like the measure jiggers you have for like spirit bottles and like literally do measures of
the like pre-dose pours of like 30 mil or whatever.
Yeah, and just serve like I would probably focus on serving cold drinks because like cool ice lattes and cold brews.
Well, we were saying that. I was like, I feel like for a dancing rave, you don't want hot coffee. You want to be knocking back like iced coffees. You want some like flavored syrup, a bit of sugar, a bit of energy to like rip it up on the D floor.
Is there like a Jaeger bomb but coffee edition?
Oh, the espresso bomb. We did that. Yeah, absolutely.
There you
Just
go.
drop an espresso shot into a glass of milk and go for broke. And the final one is, when we've been talking about AeroPress, we were like with Liam, part of it was it being so accessible, the competition, different to like the Brewers Cup and World Barista Championships and all those kind of things. And so we thought it could be a fun series for like each week for Liam to try different AeroPress recipes with the aim of eventually entering the World AeroPress Championship and trying to win it. Now, Liam is he knows how to make a good coffee and that kind of stuff, but maybe the ins and outs of it could use a little advice, especially on the AeroPress. What are some like key pointers you would give to him starting out that he should apply into his making, and how do you think he can actually become the champion?
Just brew with a lot of different coffees, because with all those AeroPress competitions, coffees are provided, so it's understanding like different processes, different varieties, different countries, and like sort of having a bit of a plan for different styles of coffee and what's actually going to taste good, because not every recipe will work with every style of coffee. With AeroPress, I would tend to also... Sorry, yeah.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, with AeroPress, I tend to, and especially that works well in AeroPress competitions, is probably brew with a higher coffee to water ratio. So you can then dilute it a little bit to the strength that you'd like.
Oh, use the bypass water afterwards?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you can kind of bring it to that desired golden area of the TDS that you want. We were just doing this actually. We did the 2017 winner who pushed down the AeroPress with their butt. Paulina, was it?
Yeah, Mishka.
And that was like a 34 gram dose with like a 90 gram yield, and then bypassed with like 160 mil of water or something like that.
Perfect recipe, just that.
Yeah, which is why they changed the rules.
Yeah. So what did they change it? They had huge doses for a while, but they've actually brought it down now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure max dose is 18 grams.
18, yeah. I think that's right from when we chatted about it on the pod. So can I just then spitball just so Liam can kind of get some ideas? If you're saying the biggest thing with AeroPress is actually just being ready for whatever coffee they throw at you. So if I was to throw some different coffee styles at you, could you give me examples of how you might do it differently with an AeroPress?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just say straight up, I'm giving you a medium roast coffee, let's just say like Colombian washed. What are you doing? So like baseline coffee, what are you doing?
So with that, I'd probably brew pretty straightforward, I'd probably do like 12-to-1 ratio. And then I'd probably want to dilute it back. But I would also, like if I had practice time, I'd probably try to get out about 100 grams of yield into 2 cups, so like 200 total. Split them into 2 cups, and then probably because all those competitions you're allowed to use your own water, I would just be seasoning afterwards with a couple of Apex drops. But I would probably, with washed Colombians, I would probably hit it with like just 1 temperature water, fill it up, give it a really good stir, and then I'd keep it pretty simple.
And then how would you flip it if you were doing like a crazy like anaerobic coffee that's like wild and funky and fermenty?
Yeah, so I'd probably look to doing like what I've been doing, which is like the cool water. Like if you have 2 kettles, I'd do a cool water bloom, like sort of like 50, 60 degrees. So you kind of don't get all of the bad funkiness. And like maybe doing like a 3-to-1 bloom with cool water. So if you had like 18, say you had 18 grams and doing 18 grams and about 50 grams of like cool water, holding that for maybe like 20, 30 seconds, and then topping up to your sort of 12-to-1, which would be 210-ish grams. And then and then, just finishing the brew that way.
So you would do this method just with something that's like a bit more wild? Is that predominantly why, just to control the flavors that you're getting out of it because it's so over the top?
Yeah, I think it would clean it up a little bit.
So
and I think
just explain how, so a mix of cold water and hot water, what is the cold water doing, and then the hot water, how is that controlling and balancing out wilder coffees?
Well, some of that is, it's kind of like a ghetto way of doing extract chilling. Like you kind of, instead of brewing hot, then catching it with an ice rock straight away, you don't dissolve all of that wildness. So where, when you brew some of these wild coffees, they just smell super funky.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be dissolving all of that. So you would either get that smell and lose it, but you would also not dissolve some of the undesirable ones. So if you sometimes brew those really heavy fermented coffees with really, really hot water, they become quite astringent and balsamic-like. So you would just get kind of more of the easier soluble parts of it without getting all of the astringency.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. I like the ghetto extract chilling of doing it. And final two questions, basic AeroPress stuff here. Filter paper. Let's not talk competition. Well, give us both, competition and real life. Everyday use. Are you rinsing the filter paper with water or not?
Yes.
Yes. You think it makes a difference?
What the difference is does it make sure it adheres well to the cap?
Not a taste difference. It's in making sure that it's
all of mine upright.
Right.
I don't tend to do inverted. And so if I don't wet the paper, then there's a chance that when you throw the coffee on it, it's not completely flat. And so maybe a little bit of coffee sort of sneaks through and you end up with sediment in the cup. And it just controls it a little better, and you don't have as much absorption and more of it goes through. So that's why I would wet the paper, just for consistency point of view.
Smart. And then I think you just answered the other question. I was going to say inverted or regular. Look, we've lost Jamie there, but that's fine. This has been another episode of Coffee Break. We've talked about a lot of stuff. We've got our rave, K-Payne. Let us know if you want to come down to a morning rave, if that's something you'd be interested in. Can you give any people more selling points?
Well, it would be fun.
My favorite thing is just throwing Katie under the bus with I'll do it in meetings, and I'll just be like, Katie, any final words to close out this meeting?
Yeah, you want to know my last final words were on the last meeting? Which I wasn't paying attention to, side note. And I was like, let's keep cooking, was what I said. So on that,
let's keep cooking.